My people, come on in the room. I'm about to go live on a couple platforms, so bear with me. Give me one moment as I set everything up for all my folks, my real make it done folks. I'm gonna be on I don't know, YouTube. I'm gonna go on IG. Let me put some stuff in the comments. Let's pin it. What's up, everybody? Let's chat tonight. All right, y'all know how it is, setting up everything under the sun. We're gonna have a little conversation. Hopefully, it will not be on too long, but let's see where it goes. Probably no more than an hour because you know how IG is. They like to make sure they know what everybody is doing. Oh, it did not let me put a title to my video. It's okay. It's all right. What's up, Ready to Talk Biz? Anybody else go ahead and jump in? Feel free to send this out to a few people. I'm doing the exact same thing. Gonna send this out. I was too early on IG. It wouldn't let me put in my what we talking about tonight. But it's all good. Butterfly thoughts. The people are in the building. Give me a second, y'all. I'm gonna be ambitious tonight. I'm gonna go live on Corey Hammond. I'm gonna go live on Real Men Get It Done, and I'm gonna go live on Real Men Get It Done on YouTube. We're gonna get this conversation started just in a second. My other phone was charging. It didn't get itself going. Okay, let's get it. Go ahead and share this out, Sophisticated Sis. What's going on, y'all? I'm being very ambitious tonight. I was just telling everybody I'm getting ready to go live on a couple different platforms. Oh, shoot. Let me see. Oh, fudge. Let me see. I don't know if I remember my other account. See, that's what I get for trying to be too ambitious. Because my other IG doesn't want to start, but it's okay. I'm going to switch off. I'm gonna switch. Y'all stay there. I'm going to get onto my other phone with this account, and I'm gonna switch to my other account. So, give me a second, y'all. We about to make it happen. Yes, enable all this stuff. IG. Okay, let me put the title. Title tonight is going to be "Fatherhood is Dope." Oh no, we're gonna say Black fathers are dope. Black fathers are dope. Let's talk about self-love. Yeah. Okay. Add the title. Let's go live. Checking my connection. Connection should be good. All right. All right. Give me a second, y'all. Y'all know how it is getting all this set up. Thanks for y'all being patient with me. I said I was going to go live. I promise. Gonna make it happen. And I was going to go live. Man, it was so many good conversations going on today on IG. I was like, man, should I go live twice? I was like, no, I'll just do one. Combine everything together. Make it all one live. Hey, all my people coming in. Send this out to a few people if you get a chance. If you have the audacity to send it out to a few people, go ahead and do so. Don't make fun of me. Yeah, I'm using all my little props to get everything going. Okay, good. So we good there. All right, and I'm about to jump on my Real Men Get It Done account because we won't make it happen there too. I'm being real ambitious tonight. Real ambitious. Okay, so I said my title is Black Fathers Are Dope. Let's chat about self-love. As I'm setting all this up again, if y'all know some folks that know some folks, go ahead and send it out to them. Any dads, any women, gonna get the conversation going. For sure. YouTube, thank you for being patient with me as well. Feel free to follow us and jump on IG if you want. But we gonna chat and make it happen. Y'all know me. I like to do it. I like to do it big, so why not? We going live on 3 different platforms. So, and I'm gonna check in with y'all in just a hot second and read all your messages and all that good stuff. Gonna see how crazy this is gonna be. All right, so we're live. YouTube, we're live on Corey Hammond from my IG, and we're live on Real Men Get It Done with my IG. So yeah, great conversations were sparked tonight as I was on IG, and I just felt the need to get on to talk a little bit from a dad perspective. So who knows, I may pull some people up. If y'all have questions, I'm trying to look at all the comments that are here, say it to all my people that are in the building. Love y'all. Peace, love, hair grease, and all that good stuff. But for those of you who don't know who I am, let me first introduce myself. My name is Corey Hammond. My brand is Real Men Get It Done. I also am a leadership mentor. I've been in education for the past 15 years. And part of my day-to-day is that's what I do. I train staffs. I train student staff. I train professional adults, like mindset, leadership development, all of that. So I've been in the game for a minute, have a background in marketing and business, master's in education. So this is what I do. This is who I am. And I've had the privilege of jumping on the platform as of late, getting to know a lot of awesome and amazing people, and just want to have this conversation around fatherhood. I will give a plug for myself. So my brand, Real Men Get It Done. I have a lot of awesome merch on my website. For the holiday season, buy one, get one, 50% off. I'm already starting my Black Friday sales as of last week. And then in terms of leadership, I also have a new leadership ebook that I just launched called The Leadership Mindset. And we're going to pick apart just like the first chapter tonight, because I think it all ties in, which is why I want to be on both platforms, on Real Men Get It Done. And I also want to be on Corey Hammond, because it all ties in. But okay, let's get it started. So a conversation was started today, and Butterfly Thoughts is one of my people on IG, and she was talking a little bit about it, about self-love, and just talking about sometimes it was deep, but part of it was about guys and self-love and how like what perspective can a guy speak on it as, who's at fault per se of like who to help grow that self-love, who to switch it up and change it. And I was just like, man, this is deep. This is a great conversation. Let's keep it moving. I'm gonna chat about it because I have something else I was gonna talk about tonight. I said, let me shift gears and talk a little bit about it. No, absolute audacity. I connected with Nard. He's still talking about, his, what did he say? He said about his legal stuff. So he was like, he wants to go soon, but he'll connect with me. So I just said, let me know, bro, whenever you are. I'm here and I'm supporting you, supporting the movement, and we can go on together. Nard is another young man who is promoting fatherhood, because there are dads who are out there who are doing the damn thing, dads who are taking care of business. And so it is definitely a myth that there are, dads not taking care of business. So we wanted to make sure we bring that to light tonight as well. So I want to start off a little bit before I jump into like practicalities. I think that's important. Leave y'all with some practical steps of just my background, who I am, and then we'll go from there. So I like to say that I was born, fortunately, hopefully everything good on IG. Okay, being silly. y'all know how phones and stuff be. But I like to say I was fortunately born the best of both worlds. So, and I'm going to get into the brand of like how Real Men Get Done started too, because that's all a part of me supporting fatherhood, growing dads, and supporting them, encouraging them. So I was blessed to be born the best of both worlds. So we grew up in the hood, in the inner city, as a kid. And even when we were blessed to move out of the inner city, we still were always in the hood. Grandparents lived there, all my cousins, all my family. Church was always in the hood. So I had an opportunity to be in this environment of like struggle, poverty, craziness, and then also start to see how life could be outside of that environment as well. My father, he was addicted to drugs and alcohol. Growing up, as I got older, he said he tried everything except crack, growing up. But he was facing some of his own demons, and that led him on that path to, get caught up in that life. But as he started seeing me and my sister get older, it was his desire, it was his goal to start actually doing better for the family. Hey, everybody that's jumping on. I'm managing all these different platforms, so it's amazing. I'm on YouTube, I'm on IG for Real Men Get Done, and I'm on IG for Corey Hammond. We're talking about fatherhood. We're talking about Black fathers being dope, and we're going to talk about self-love. But bringing the story back to the fold about my dad, he was dealing with his own demons, battling drugs and alcohol. And it was at the time when he started seeing my sister and myself get a little bit older. I probably was about 3 or 4. He wanted to make that change for the family. So he went to Alcoholics Anonymous, started to get himself right. And from there, that helped us get out of the hood because my grandfather helped my dad purchase our first home out in what was then like the suburbs. So it was like the first time going outside, seeing your bike not being stolen was like super dope. I was like a kid amazed at that. When we left for our first home from moving from the hood, from the projects, raised with the roaches and rats, we didn't take anything. We moved on Thanksgiving. And so we moved into that home with nothing but the clothes on our back. Y'all know how it is in the hood when it's like rats and roaches. My mom didn't want to take nothing. She threw everything away. We moved into this brand new home. We were excited. No beds, no furniture, no nothing but the clothes on our back. No, not even a refrigerator. I remember Thanksgiving, we went over to my grandparents' house, had food. That food was stored in a cooler. That's all we had. No refrigerator. We had a cooler and I think a microwave, and we were the happiest as could be. So my father wanting to get us out of that predicament of that hood environment, him wanting to change himself, pulled us out of that environment, got us to the suburbs, got us to this newer environment. But as I said, I had the privilege of seeing both and being raised in both atmospheres, being in the hood, church in the hood, family in the hood, but now starting to see what life can be without. So I learned everything of who I am as a man from my father and my grandfather and my uncles on my dad's side. So raised by very strong men. Even though my dad battled his addictions and he was out there, drugs and alcohol, whatnot, my dad was always there. And finding out later on in life, he got that from his dad because his dad was always there, even when he was out doing his thing. My grandfather actually raised my father. Because his mom, oh man, this is a crazy story. I don't even know if I want to go there, but okay, I'll go there real quick. So for my dad, the reason why he had to battle and deal with his demons was because he thought his mom was dead. I'll give you the short version of the story. He thought his mom was dead. She actually was in the same city that he was in his entire life. And he found out when he was like in high school. That led him down that road of abuse and drugs and alcohol, partying and everything. So anywho, but again, he still was always there, always present. I remember like still going to the park with my dad at being like 4 and 5, still doing things. So even though he was battling his addictions, drugs and alcohol, he still was present. So I come from a solid stock of men who still took care of their business no matter what. And it was really dope because I had the opportunity to talk to my grandfather real recently. My granddad just turned 90 years old. I took some recordings of him and just asked like, where does this come from, Granddad? Like, where does this like Hammond men DNA come where, we're good men and y'all help raise us to be good men? And he said he learned it from his brother. My granddad, it was 19 of them. He was raised in Anderson, South Carolina, 19 of them. His father died when he was a kid and his older brother raised him. And he instilled 3 things into him when he was a child. It was family, it was hard work, and it was faith. Those were the 3 things that he instilled in him. So like, no matter what, You went out and kicked it. You did whatever, 2, 3 in the morning, you still went to church. That's what it was. Hard work, no matter if you was kicking it out late, smoking, drinking, doing whatever, you went to work, hard work. And I'm sorry, not faith, it was family, the importance of family, because their family was so huge. It was a blended family. So family became like the bedrock of everything that they did. So that's what my granddad passed down to us as being men. That hard work is something that is always being done. Family is always important. And then, of course, faith, yeah, that's right. Faith, family, and hard work. Yeah. So, of course, it makes sense because most times we say God, family, everything else. So that has been a motto in my family since my granddad, and instilled that into my dad and uncles. So for me, again, just being who I am, developing in who I am, it has always been who I am. And seeing good men as good role models. And even when I had like cousins and stuff that was out there wilding and doing stuff, my cousins even on my mom's side, for the most part, were still very respectful. Like, we just come from that DNA of just men showing us that, okay, you take care of your family, you're responsible. You love on the women that's in your life. Like, you ain't out here wilding. So for me, transitioning through like the high school, the junior high years and stuff, I was the nerd, I was the geek. And y'all know, like, for the girls, even though I dated a lot, I ain't gonna front and say like I didn't date, but I was considered the nerd, wouldn't necessarily get the most popular girl in school and whatnot. But it was always so crazy to me, and y'all know the dynamic of how like the bad boys always won. It may be a girl that you maybe start talking to, and she may be that baddie, or maybe almost be that, that number one or whatever. And then a bad boy comes along and just like, she ain't thinking about you no more. She's on to the bad boy. So I think some of the things that in terms of men and even young boys that we get skewed from potentially at an early age, for those of us who are the good guys, we can get swayed. Hey, y'all, as good guys, we can get swayed because we see how the bad boys can win and how the bad boys can maybe get all the girls. So I've had friends, I've had family who were men, who it was easier for them to be the bad guy to women because they knew like that's what the girls wanted. They wanted the thug, they wanted the guy that was like the bad boy out here doing the most. So guys that were potentially the good guy ended up being the ones to be like, well, it's easier, it's a little bit more it's just a little bit easier to navigate the women and everything if I'm being the bad boy versus being the good guy that I should be. So for me, growing up, that was always that kind of being stuck in the middle of like, I couldn't really be who I wasn't. Like, I couldn't do that. Like, it was tempting to do so, but I just really couldn't do it. So I always reflected back on like who my father was, who my grandfather was, the men who raised me, and I always didn't want to let them down. So fast forwarding into me actually, let's see, where do I want to take it? Okay, so that's just a little bit, my backstory. It's a little bit about me growing up, a little bit of kind of like the dynamic I think that some men deal with in terms of like, okay, should I be the good guy even if I come from good stock, or should I go be the bad boy and get it twisted? I think that ends up having a skewed effect on how men can view themselves. Men can view self-love, taking care of self, and really not taking care of the women in our life as we should. Really just having that kind of attitude, like women are just notches on the belt. That attitude of like, okay, I may act like I love you, and I honestly probably really do, but once I'm done with you, I'm going to be on to the next and act like you didn't even exist. Case in point, again, we've all seen what played out on the news with Danny Lee and the baby. I just saw really quick clips of it and saw that, I mean, pretty much he just was dogging the girl like she never meant anything to him, when I remember seeing videos and stuff with him being all booed up and loving her and appreciating her almost like as that trophy. And then she ends up having his baby. He's done with her. He's on to the next thing. And now she's just a side chick or a booty call. Like I've seen how guys can twist that and just be so opposite from what they were, in that relationship, in how they dealt with people. What's up, Marcus? All my people's coming in. Marcus is a good brother. Hey guys, I'm on YouTube. I'm on IG on my Real Men Get It Done. I'm on IG on Corey Hammond. Bring this conversation about Black fathers are dope and talking about self-love. Okay, so you see that situation of rappers and stuff, and that situation with a Danny Lee and a baby doing that, and you're just like, man, they really give the good bros a bad name, because there are tons of good men that are out there trying to do right by their families, out there trying to support their kids, out there just trying to live a life of integrity and character, and then you got knuckleheads that get all the shine doing girls like that. So bringing it full circle to why this brand got started, the Real Men Get It Done brand, it was, the whole point of it was to just showcase all of who I am and how my parents honestly raised me. My mom encouraged me over 2 years ago to start this YouTube channel. I waited, I hesitated on doing it, but my mom encouraged me to start the YouTube channel because she knew that she raised me right. You know what I'm saying? My mom used to always use the expression growing up, like, I didn't raise no pissy tail boy. So what that meant was I knew how to take care of the home inside and also take care of the home outside. So inside, mom taught me how to cook, how to clean, how to wash baseboards, all that good stuff. On the outside, my dad taught me how to work on cars, how to maintain the lawn, how to fix and tinker with stuff. So even in my own family dynamic, I had the best of both worlds, even in that. And my mom saw that. And so she encouraged me to start the YouTube channel, honestly, like 3 years ago. I only did it like 2 years ago. I was like, okay, mom, finally, I will do it. And that's what the channel represents. It represents the fathers, the men who are actually taking care of business, doing what they're supposed to be doing. And it showcases us kind of breaking those gender stereotypes to take care of home. Because if we also can take care of self and home, it just makes life easier. You know what I'm saying? It just makes life totally easier if we take care of home, take care of ourselves. Everything else just flows into play. So on my channel, if y'all are not subscribed, connect with me on YouTube, Real Men Get It Done. You will see a little bit of everything from me cooking and cleaning with the kids, beard care for the fellas, for the bros, getting them right. I'm cleaning to even like food reviews. So a little bit of everything, but just showcasing all the dopeness that us fathers and men are, to dispel that myth and that rumor that we aren't taking care of business. So I am still checking the chat, y'all. If y'all have questions, shout at me, say hey, make sure things is making sense, And my brother Jarrell jumped in, so I got a couple of good bros that's in the room already. Bros that are taking care of business, handling their business with their families. We are out there. And I just was on a live earlier this week with another dope dad. Name is Nard, and he was just talking about all the wonderful stuff that he does. And he has an awesome clothing line, supporting dads, supporting the movement, very involved in his kid's life. So we are there. If the media, of course, is making it look like we're not, we are there. We are there. We are present, taking care of our family, taking care of our business in terms of, running kids here and there, in between, trying to take care of ourselves. We are there. I was sharing with people that for me in the evenings, I kind of turned into a single dad because my wife works second shift, and it's been like that for 5 years. For the first part of our life, she took care of the kids, and it was just made sense financially for her to stay home and raise the kids. As she transitioned to her career, it's been tough at times because I am stuck with everything that my wife would do with the kids. I'm stuck with everything. So right now I have 3 kids, 15, 13, and 11. All of them are in sports, doctor's appointments, whatever they need in the evening. It's dad, homework. It's me. It's only me. Mom's at work. So again, this week I was so tired, which is why I wasn't sure I was going to even come on. I purposed it in my heart, but I was so tired because my oldest had a game that was away on Monday. My youngest, she has practiced 3 times out the week. So I was running her, and my son, he had tryouts for basketball. He made it through the first round yesterday, then had the second round today. So your brother was just running with the kids. But that is my responsibility. That is the mantle that I have as being a dad. Real men get it done. So we are out there being present. We are here. There are good men out there. My brother Jasper just jumped on. There are good men. Oh yeah, my brother Jarrell said, just for y'all, he said, got the girl's hair done, cut my son's hair, got him ready for bed, prayed with them. Now about to paint my room. So yeah, man, that's another brother that again does it out here, is making it happen. So we have a lot of good dads out there. And just a lot of good men, even if they aren't a dad yet, good men like my brother Jasper that's on the line as well. A man that he's truthful, he's honest, but you know what you're getting as soon as he steps into the door. So he's really dope, and he brings that forth in the conversation. So men that are really truthful, not out here trying to play games with women, not trying to be on games, like we are out there. All right. So let's bring the conversation a little bit, talking about self-love. What does that mean? And I guess really how men who may not have that, how they can develop into that. So I'm flowing a little bit into my book, Successful Mindset. The book, again, is meant for business folks, for folks who are in the business realm, entrepreneurs, leadership. But the tips in there, again, things can be very applicable all across the lane. And my first chapter honestly has to do with mindset. So we hear a lot about it. And I think the first step in terms of self-love in men who may not act like they have it or act like they even want it, I really think that is honestly BS, to be honest. Like, if one thing that I know, just speaking from a man's perspective, is that if we want something, and my boy Nar just jumped on, just got done talking about you, bro, and supporting your movement. But us as men, if we want something, we value the things that we want. So if we're talking about men in self-love or men who acting like they don't have it or need to grow in it, is first of all, it's because they don't want to. They don't want to grow in it. So for the women that deal with them, obviously it's you deciding, is that what I want to deal with or not? It's as simple as that. And I'll give you an example. When it comes to just thinking of how men and how simple we are, take something into effect. I like to call it the big three. The big three. Like, this is in terms of mindset. This is what everybody can do to help actually put your mindset to a place of growth and actually make sure that you carry out the steps that you want. A lot of us are on lives and different things where we're talking about positive affirmations and speaking positivity. Like, that's great, but that's not it. You have to incorporate what I like to call the big three. You not only have to say it, but an important step is also writing it down. And also another good step is also doing it. So you write it down, you say it, and you do it. You write it down, you say it, and you do it. Anybody who moves through those three steps constantly on a regular basis has the ability, keyword, they have the ability to change their mindset. They have the ability to change their mindset. And if a man is lacking self-love, he has the ability to begin to grow in that area of self-love. But a lot of times when men aren't practicing that, if they aren't even moving in that direction, if they're just being cold as ice to women and treating them like not just on the belt, even to their kids, even to the seed that they maybe push out. First of all, I mean, men, just how we are, just being honest, ladies, like, you can have a kid, not have a connection with them. That connection grows. It's not like moms, they come from y'all. It's just automatic for y'all. It has to grow with us. So it as men, it doesn't surprise me when you see a man, they're like, well, he had a baby and just like, he didn't build no connection, so he could care less. It is what it is. But anyway, those three, the big three, writing it down, saying it, and doing it. If any person does that in any area of their life, they can move themselves on to whatever goal they're trying to accomplish. And in this case, we're talking about men moving to that point of self-love. And men, we do it all the time for the things that we care about. Again, we do it all the time for things that we care about. So I say it's BS if somebody is a grown ass man out there and are still saying, I didn't have a dad in my life. I didn't have somebody in my life to teach me how to be a man. There's so many men who didn't have fathers in their life, who found a mentor or whatever, who helped push them to be a better man. Even if they just wanted the self-determination in themselves to push themselves to be a better man. So men who aren't doing it and just grown out there are doing it because they don't want to do it. Case in point, I'll speak of a simple explanation of guys, of those big three that I just mentioned, of guys having the desire to go to the gym and work out. So most time, guys, we get into that zone. We want to go to the gym. We want to work out because, we may have a health goal. We want to physically look good. And most part is because we're trying to get the ladies. Amen. The brothers, we want the bodies to look nice. We want to be healthy and in shape to get the ladies. So what happens? You may have that friend that's already working out. He's like, come on with me. I'll show you the game. We can get it started. So what do? You may start and have that conversation with a text message, right? Hey, P and Popcorn, what's up, bro? We're talking about dope fathers out here. We're talking about self-love. So I'm bringing the conversation and moving it forward from all what has happened and transpired today on all the different lives and stuff I've been a part of. So we're breaking this down about how men can grow into self-love, and that if men are saying that they can't grow into self-love because they didn't have a dad or didn't have that role model, it's a bunch of BS, because we do it every day. And I'm giving you a practical application example right now. So men, if we're going to the gym to work out and we're like, man, I want to go get buff so I can go get all the chicks and all the ladies. I want to get this healthy, fit body, right? You connect with your boy who's already been going. He's like, come with me. We can make it happen. What is the first thing y'all may be doing? You're texting back and forth. All right, what time we going to connect? What time we going to meet up? You know, what do I need to bring? Blah, 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 blase, blase. That's the first step. What did you just do? You wrote it down. What's the next step that happens? Okay, you hype yourself up. You may go get some new pair of Nike shorts, some new workout clothes, some new gloves to be able to go to the gym so you're looking right. You just don't want to go looking like a bum because there may be some chicks there, so you want to go looking nice. So then you tell yourself, you hype yourself up about, yeah, like I'm going to do this. I'm going to get buff. My man's, he got me. We've been texting back and forth. I'm excited. We're going to go tomorrow. What's the second thing you just did? You just affirmed it. And you just spoke it into existence that you're going to go to the gym, you're going to get it right and work out, right? Third thing, you actually go to the gym. You show up the next day with your boy. You start working out. You know, you're sore the next day. You feel the effects of going to the gym for the first time. But you actually put in that work for a half an hour or an hour and you made it happen, right? So what did you just do right there? You did it. So men, in all of that, you have the capacity, the ability to train and set your mindset to do whatever it is that you want to do for the things that you want to do. I just explained my big three. You have to not only write it down, you have to affirm it, say it, and you have to do it. That example of showing y'all about a guy going to the gym, he did all three because it was something that he wanted to do. Keywords is something that he wanted to do. So again, I think the only error that can happen with that is that, you know, again, I've been in education, I've trained staff, I'm a trainer, I've done all this. So a lot of times I know the psychology, I know the science behind it. The only way I could fault a bruh is that, of course, everybody ain't thinking like that. They do it. We do stuff all the time and don't know the things behind it. A lot of times brothers may not realize, oh, I just did those 3 steps going to the gym. And I may do that in a lot of areas of my life when it comes to buying the new pair of J's, buying the new car. Like we do that so often in our life. Even y'all that may be on my live may not realize that. Like that's the 3 steps you need. And if you look back at your life and think about it, the things that you've probably accomplished, you probably did it with the big 3 in mind. You probably wrote it down, you affirmed it, and then some action had to be behind it for you to actually do it. So the only way I can fault bros who may not have moved into that area of wanting that self-love or to grow in that area is if they haven't necessarily pinpointed all what the big 3 are. But again, it's no excuse because with all the positive reinforcement we have online, with all of the mentors that are available, you know, everybody has somebody that you can connect with or are a degree away from somebody that you can connect with that can help push you to be that better version of yourself. So if brothers are out there just, you know, taking it for granted, connecting with all the other areas in their life and not having that self-care to say, man, I got to work on this self-love. I got to work on loving myself so I can in turn that over to the people that are in my life, my kids, my wife, my family. Then it's, again, honestly, like I have to be hard in saying that, like, they just don't want it. They just don't want it, you know, because we, in this day and age, in 2021, we have too much at our fingertips to help us be the best version of ourselves. So that is where I am going to digress. Holler at me, y'all. Did that make sense? Just talking a little bit about the self-love, about how us as bros, first of all, being good bros out there, but how bros can transition themselves into that if they want it. That's highlighting my book, Successful Mindset, and talking about just, you know, how we really do have the ability to train and adjust our minds. So what questions do y'all have for me? What comments do y'all have? Holla at your boy. I'm looking at all the notes in the comments everywhere. I could keep talking. I got stuff to say, but I'm here curious to see what y'all thought. Awesome. I got some fire emojis. I love it. Yeah, yeah. On Real Men Get It Done side, what's good, y'all? What's good? Definitely. Definitely. I think, yeah. Three sophisticated sis and Nard, mentioned about, counseling and importance to talk about trauma. Yes, I totally agree with that wholeheartedly. Um, and also talking about being consistent. It's really crazy because if you look at the psychology of like the human brain, they say we only use 10% of our brain, but 90% of it, 90% of that 10% is really controlled by our subconscious. And our subconscious is a mother, because if you know anything about the subconscious, that is actually what really triggers us to really go from like positive to strictly negative in an instance. Like the subconscious it bypasses all reasoning. Like you have your conscious, that's your five senses, you take in stuff, everything, but your subconscious is a mother, because that's when you can be on cloud nine, having the best day, the greatest day in the world, and then you get one form of bad news or somebody cuts you off in traffic and your whole entire mood changes. That's how powerful the subconscious is. It's the reason why we know our ABCs and the Pledge of Allegiance like the back of our hand, because it's been ingrained in us so much. It's just like some things that's just past that consciousness to our subconscious, where it's just there. It's ingrained in us. So we have to be willing to know that. And again, I'm a big firm believer of you are accountable for what you know. So now that I'm gonna continue to give some of these gems about us as men, and about us and how we can grow just in general with kind of jumping on live and doing this. Then it takes us to start saying, okay, now what do I need to do? What self inventory do I need to do to grow into the areas of kind of growing into the best version of myself? I see the question there, James on YouTube had a couple questions here off of IG. One person said about the trauma, so spoke about that a little bit. Counseling in the Black community. I'm so glad that people are starting to move forward and do it. I'm a firm believer of counseling. I have a counselor. We have counseling. We have a counselor for our entire family. So all of us go to counseling. I put it like this because in the Black community, oftentimes, y'all know how we be. It's like family business stays in the family. We have so much trauma, as you spoke about, sophisticated sis, that we aren't dealing with, that we aren't confronting, because we think we can't go talk to somebody, because we think I got to keep this, I got to shoulder this. And men especially, we take on the world sometime and have no outlet. There's times even when I'm shaking and moving and people see me in stride and doing the best as I can be as a father, where I'm defeated, I'm tired, I don't feel loved, I don't feel appreciated, I don't feel like anybody's on my team, like anybody is for me. That's just the truth about being a man. Like we get that. We often need to feel love. We need that hug from our women, that hug from our loved ones to say, like, you're doing a good job, keep it up, like I see you. We need that, but people are so used for us to just like keep things moving. They know for the good bros that we just gonna keep life moving. We're gonna make sure the bills are paid, make sure the kids are taken care of, make sure our women are taken care of. Like sometimes we're neglected in that realm, and a lot of times we're hurting. But I'm a firm believer of counseling, being able to have that outlet to go talk to about the issues that maybe you can't confront with your lady, with your partner, significant other, about things that are going on. The analogy that I like to use about counseling is this. When it comes to cancer, we don't hesitate to seek out help for doctors. Even if it's Black folks and they don't like going to the doctor, if something hurting them long enough, they're gonna go to the doctor and then figure out, oh, it's cancer, it's maybe cancer here, cancer there. We'll eventually go. And we'll take all the doctor's suggestions and hints about what we need to do to get better, whether it's chemo, eating right, doing whatever to try to get ourselves back on the mend, right? So the same thing happens when we're talking about mental health. The same thing happens when we're talking about our brain, our minds, the trauma that we face. It's the same thing as having cancer. You wouldn't hesitate to go talk to a doctor about that. So why would you hesitate to go talk to a trained doctor about those things that are going on? And trust me, you can connect with the right counselor. It is confidential, of course. They're not going to tell anybody. And it's a good, safe place for men to be. And that's what we need. We need a safe place to be when we can't go talk to our boys or to our significant other, this and that. We need that. So I'm a firm believer as a black man to try to dispel that myth in the black community that we need it. And I do have a lot of bros who are starting to go to counseling. And again, go solo. You ain't got to go with your partner. Go solo at first. Test the waters, try it a couple times, see how it is. Then you may need to pull and bring your partner in. But counseling has been life-changing for me and my family. So I'm a firm believer of making sure that happens. Okay, James had a couple questions on YouTube. He says, what's holding the black man back from being at his best? I would say looking in the mirror themselves, and give me 3 must-know father and stepfather tips that need to be followed. Ooh. That's a good one, bro. And I don't even know if you realize this. And those who connect with me is I'm a stepfather, but I fight you if you ever told me that my daughter is my stepfather. She's my daughter. Like, that's it. I've been in her life since she's been one years old, and I raised her as my daughter ever since then. So she has priority over all other kids. She's in my will, all that good stuff. She's the oldest. She's baby girl. She's been there from day one. So we get it. As bonus, bonus dads, bonus kids, those are our kids. No matter what happens in the relationship, no matter what happens, she is my kid. So what I would say to the fathers, I'll elaborate on the question a little bit too, in terms of what's holding the black man back from being his best. I think what we talked about a little bit, the trauma piece sometimes that we deal with, and not being able to have that outlet. I think that is really huge. And I think also I'm thinking of like even some of the cousins and things I have in my life that aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing and had a good example. It was, I think, that allure of maybe wanting to get it sooner than later. And y'all know, the bros that like to trap and all that stuff and are selling drugs and doing everything to make the quick hustle. I think those are definitely some of the things that are happening in the black community. But for us that are the everyday average dad is just trying to make it happen, I think, again, us just being able to have that positive outlet to be able to release and to not feel so much pressure from life is one of the things that's holding us back. So the counseling, have positive folks that you can talk to, I think it's definitely needed. So, okay, going back to the other question of stepfather tips. I think the first one is, especially those dads who may be new at being a stepfather, or you may grab a kid that's a little bit older. Take time and understand that you have to grow into that love. Just as I said with your even biological kids, even with my daughter when she was first born, like I loved her, but that connection just as her mom, it just wasn't there. Even with my biological kids, it just wasn't there automatic. I loved them, but it wasn't this deep down crazy, like I will die for you in a heartbeat love. I'm just being honest as a man. That's how it was. So giving yourself some grace in that, knowing that like we have to develop that love for our kids. We have to grow in that, spending time with them, getting to know them, all that good stuff. That's a big piece of it. Two, I would say, check your discipline at the door. In terms of, being a stepdad, check your discipline at the door. The biggest, greatest lesson that me having a stepchild taught me was my wife, actually, because we were young, we were newly married and stuff, having a daughter since she was one, told me to stop disciplining my daughter, because I was from the old school, how my parents was like, do what I say when I say it. And you're talking to a 1-year-old. So I had to grow in that, in terms of like, I had to stop disciplining her and finding out different ways to try to like correct her without trying to spank her. I'll speak for that, like actually discipline her with spanking. So still discipline her, but making it age appropriate. And that's something that has stuck with me even to this day with having a 15, 13, and 11-year-old. It's like, if they're being willfully disobedient, like I'm doing my own thing. I heard what you said, but I'm gonna do my own thing. Like, oh yeah, punishment is about to happen. It's about to go down. But sometimes kids are just being kids, and you have to give them that grace to just be kids. And we can't be just old school like our parents and just be like sparing the ride and spoiling the child on every single thing that they do. That's just my personal opinion, which I've had to grow into over the years. And the third thing, honestly, is just being present. Like we all, into a certain degree as dads, we work hard We got our side hustles. We may be trying to enjoy ourselves and watch a basketball game and trying to take care of self, a little bit of self-care, self-love, working out and stuff. But be present as best as you can. For me, and I'm very busy, like very busy, real talk. But what I've tried to do in my schedule is, of course, like when it comes to me coming home, since I'm only dad and here to be here for my kids, I shake and move and do whatever I have to do for them. And then, like I'm doing right now at night, that's when I take care of the business, the side hustles, the brand, Real Men Get It Done, writing my book, all that stuff. That's when I become that entrepreneur from like 8 to 10, 8 to 11, 8 to 12 at midnight, trying to make sure that they're set, they're good. Like when I got home today, got my son from practice, we ran to the grocery store real quick, grabbed some food, came home, cooked. We cleaned up as a family. We got the house together, and I said, y'all, we got to have the house clean. Y'all got to be in bed by 8 o'clock because I'm going live. So let's all have all of our chores done. Let's turn down and let's be good so dad can move forward and connect with the people tonight. So those are just a few of the things I think we definitely have to do. And sobriety, James answered some great questions. I'm gonna get back to that. Let me check on IG. Y'all's asking some great questions, man. This is dope. Yeah. Somebody put on here like it starts early. I hate the whole boys don't cry thing. They're taught from jump to not process their feelings. Real talk, facts. Men can feel like no one cares, and that's what men are supposed to do. That's just being a man. Men are not robots and barbarians. They are human. Facts. Awesome. Yeah. Learning and unlearning is crucial to loving ourselves. Yep. Of all things, that's my up-down place, especially with the change of tempos throughout life. Yeah, man, it's true. Like life happens to us all, especially us as men. And I hate so much that men feel sometimes that they don't have someone that they're going to talk to. Because just being real, that's why I honestly do love the counseling route, because it takes so much for us to be vulnerable. Even with like, I have some really dope bros on the line right now, like dope bros, and we can talk about a lot. But y'all know how it is. Sometimes when we get to the nitty gritty, we can even talk about relationships and talk about things going on. But sometimes you got to talk about the nitty gritty. You know what I'm talking about? Like the nitty gritty. And that counselor is there as being strictly objective. They really want to hear you out so they can help you get some solutions to the problem. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I love by having that impartiality from someone that really can just be like, man, I feel you, I hear you, and what can we do to move forward? Case in point, real quick, one thing that our counselor told me, because I was just dumping on her, right? I'm like, man, I'm here for about half an hour. I didn't pay for this. I'm about to dump. I was just dumping everything on her. And she was like, okay, so what you're telling me is like your cup runs over for everyone else, but you feel like your cup is empty. Let me tell y'all, I almost ran circles around that office because she just listened, let me dump for about 20 minutes, and she had such a simple analogy to what was going on like in my life at that point. And it was so true. And I was like, man, this is dope. Like this is dope. Like I just came out of there just feeling so alive and just so like, okay, I got some tools to like be good and be right. So next time I connect back with her. And so that's what we need as men, for real. That's what we need. Someone else said, I'm very passionate about women truly seeing men, seeing them as humans with a lot of external stressors, pressures, seeing them as humans, acknowledging their goodness and pointing out their greatness. Amen to that, sis. Yes. Anytime for the sisters, the sis that are on, y'all connect with the bros to let them know how much you love and appreciate them. We need that. We need that so much. All right, I'm gonna answer a last couple of questions. Throw some stuff at me, guys, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here because I did want to be respectful of folks' time of the evening, and I want to get my butt in bed too, so I can get up and go to the gym in the morning, because that's a part of my self-care, of my love for myself, making sure that I am healthy, working out, doing that, and having that me time at the gym to get some of the stress and the anxiety and the load off of me. So I'm gonna get to bed soon. James said, talk about sobriety. For me, honestly, I've honestly never had to deal with that, having issues with drugs or alcohol. But I think for a lot of Black men, that can be a vice that that, again, I know just with my background and having training about different counseling techniques and things like that, like for men, a lot of times when we have that trauma or we are suffering, yes, we turn to drugs, we turn to alcohol. Also, like tattoos. I learned that from my counselor that tattoos is a form of therapy for a lot of men. They get tatted up because that's the way that they are dealing with pain. They love the pain from the tattoo, and that's how they're dealing with anxiety, pressure, stress. So that's a form of like self-care for them. So when you see sometimes bros all tatted up, that's a form of them dealing and coping. But I will speak up of my dad and him moving forward with sobriety. Um, Again, as I've had those conversations with him, for him, it really was us that gave him the push to want to get clean and sober. As we became, I was 4, I was 5 years old, and my dad, I remember he would always have his liquor bottles in the back of the car. Like he would drink something, screw it up, and the bottles would be sitting on the back of the car. And me and my sister were being naughty, and we would unscrew those and take little swigs of it. It was pretty much, spit at that point. But you know how it is, a little bit of liquor is left in there. So we would imitate my dad. My dad smoked weed. We would imitate him smoking in the house and stuff. So a lot of times kids and family can be that thing that helps grows us up as adults, whether it's men or women. And for my dad, him starting to see some of our negative behaviors from what he was doing pushed him to want to get his life right. And even in his steps, like I said, he followed those 3 steps, even if it was unbeknownst to him, the big 3 of what I call them, of writing it down, affirming it, and doing it. Like he did that all through going through AA and trying to better ourselves and better our situation. And him moving us out of the hood was a piece of that too. He was tired of us living with the roaches, with the rats, with all the poverty, with all the violence, with that mindset. So he wanted to get us out of that situation. And that new beginning, I think, was just a breath of fresh air for our entire family that helped us really start, moving forward with who the man that I've become to this day. And even my parents, like they've been married 43 years. It's a blessing to see their relationship. They knew each other since grade school, high school, all of that. So just seeing how just those 3 that I mentioned at the very beginning of the live of what I also said, not only the big 3, but what I learned from my granddad, which taught my dad this, the importance of family, the importance of faith, and the importance of hard work. Like that was always stuck with my dad, no matter what, even when he was battling his sobriety. So those are things that pushed him to get to where, I am to this day. So that's why I'm just want to encourage the bros. Like, man, we already have it in us. A lot of times, y'all know we have the tools within us. It's just a matter of someone pulling it out and helping us understand it. So I was like, I'm going to be the one to start pulling it out and helping us understand it. So we'll start with that. What are your big 3? For me, it was faith, family, and hard work. And then the big 3 of how do we start to change our mindset to what the goal that we have in mind. In this season, this live, we're talking about self-love, self-care. So that would be us writing it down, what the goal is, affirming that thing, which means saying it, and then actually putting some action behind it and doing it. So for this, it could be the counseling could be the doing part if I don't know about self-care and self-love. The writing it down could be I'm going to I'm going to push myself to love myself. I'm going to try to love the people in my life better. That could be me writing it down. And then the affirmation could be every day getting up, seeing that in the mirror, saying, I'm a man that loves. I'm a man that is tenderhearted. I'm a man that cares. And then following up by going to a counselor and putting that thing into action by doing it. So that's another practical application of how us as men can push ourselves to growing in our self-love. All right. So let me see any more comments before I get out of here. It is 9:04. Man, appreciate y'all. The positivity, man. Again, I love it. I just thought it was important, such an important topic. Like I said, I just feel like being ambitious. So I went live on YouTube for the Real Men Get It Done page. I went live on Real Men Get It Done on my IG. And I'm going live also on Corey Hammond, which is my brand. So as I wrap up, I will plug, if you go to my my solo.to is my /Corey Hammond. That has all of my resources there in one spot. Solo.to/Corey Hammond. I'm gonna put it in the chat real quick. Solo.to/Corey Hammond. Or if you just click on my link on YouTube, Click on my bio. It has everything there. But it has information about the Real Men Get It Done brand, my YouTube channel. You can connect with me there. My merch that I have on sale, Real Men Get It Done. I'm doing Black Friday, buy one, get one, half off, supporting men, fatherhood, everything that's awesome. You can connect with me there and buy some merch. I have some stuff there for the ladies as well. And then in terms of the topic that we talked about tonight, self-love, all starting with our mindset. A portion of that is in my book, my ebook that I have, which is entitled Successful Mindset. And I have that on sale for Black Friday already as well. It's normally $20. I have it on sale for $9.99. So if you connect with the links in my bio, click on my solo.to Corey Hammond. All the resources are there for y'all to buy it, connect with your boy, and support the movement. But yeah, so glad that y'all jumped on tonight. I appreciate everyone who will connect later. If you jump on and see this live later, hit hashtag replay so I know that you saw it later. And yeah, I'm going to continue to do these lives. I may be ambitious and still do it on all the different platforms, but I really do believe that we as men need to be supported, need to be loved on, and need to be encouraged. So I'm going to start my own lives with Black Fathers Are Dope, and then we'll have whatever ... after that. So tonight we talked about self-love, self-care, and I'm excited to see where this goes. So I think that is out. I'm out for tonight. Love, peace, and hair grease. Appreciate y'all. Continue to share this out. Until next time, peace and God bless. I'm out of here, y'all. And then my stream on YouTube. Bam.